Welcome to the 82nd episode of Lalitha Sahasranam Stotra. The ultimate cosmic energy in the universe, providing the nourishment in sufficiently small doses. The strategies of the Universal Mother, the various strategies of the Universal Mother in transforming the worst case scenarios into the best case scenarios. That means even the most untamable individual is being transformed into the position of ambassador to the Universal Mother. So these are the various essence of Lalitha Divya Rahasya Sahasranama Stotra. Let us move on. The next nama is Mahabhogaa. So bhoga is essentially luxury of fruit of karmacharana, or the luxury of performing the karmacharana itself. The karmacharana itself is a luxury. So while bhogam is been performed or executed in north-south direction, that is Uttarayana and Dakshinayana, Mahabhoga is the same, the act of luxury that is beyond east-west, that is in Graha Yogam. So through Mahabhoga, bhoga can be controlled. So therefore Mahabhoga encompasses all the mercury effects. Bhoga is, as we said, is the luxury, and the entity that is responsible for bhoga is Buddha or mercury effects in the body. So mercury is the youngest planet, and so the growth happens fastest when we are in the childhood. So that is bhogam. So therefore Mahabhoga encompasses all the mercury effects in the universe. So through this Mahabhoga nama, the yogi in Swadhisthana Chakra of the yogi, mercury and Saptamatrika energy form, that is brahmi, and also Saptarushi vashishtha has entered into the Swadhisthana Chakra of the yogi. So in the previous nama Maharathi, there was a saturation of the taste of Brahma gnanis that has happened, but ideally saturation is end of life. So they are so beyond. So even after saturation, why are they still alive, the Brahma gnanis? The reason is that they have been quickly saturated because they are under the control of the yogi. Their lifetime is under the control of the yogi. So who is in Graha Yogam, and he is the ambassador of the universe. So the lifetime of Brahmagnanis is dictated by the yogi himself. So that's why they have been quickly saturated through Maharati. And now they have been subjected to the luxury of karmacharana through Mahabhoga. The attributes that yogi has acquired through Mahabhoga. So this is like the person who has worked very hard throughout the life and taken retirement and enjoying or relaxing. So now the remaining part of his life, people invite the person, and he's getting his monthly pension, and he's at peace, and so the people invite this retired person, and he's been felicitated, and he's been given the luxurious treatments, a lot of facilities, etc., etc. That is bhogam. So same thing is happening here in Mahabhoga. The Brahmagnanis are given the luxury after the saturation of the taste through Mahabhoga. So those who are in Mahabhoga, so the moment they step out, somebody will pick them up and then drop them at the destination without even their intervention. So this kind of things happen involuntarily. That is Mahabhoga. So if this happens once in a while, it is called fortune or luck. But if it happens consistently, then it is bhogam, Mahabhogam. So that's about Mahabhoga. The next nama is Mahaiswarya. So Mahaiswarya is a saturated state of the Jupiter at its peak. So through Mahaiswarya, through Maheshwari, we have discussed the Jupiter entering into the Agna Chakra of the yogi, and Maheshwari is essentially the unstable form, the most intense form of the magnetic form of the Jupiter. So Mahaiswarya essentially refers to that the Jupiter at its peak, in a saturated state. So that's what is Mahaiswarya. So Aishwarya is essentially the wealth in the north-south direction. Mahaiswarya is the wealth that is beyond north-south, that is beyond the east-west, and beyond through the Graha Yoga. So Mahaiswarya refers to all the wealth in the universe that is under the control of the yogi, who is ambassador of the Universal Mother. So Ishvara essentially refers to Uttarayana, Dakshinayana, the Guru form that is beyond the five elements, manifesting through the sky element. So Maheshwara is the Guru form that is in the Graha Yogam, that is beyond east-west. So therefore Maheshwara is the Guru of the Gurus. So hence Guru of the Gurus, hence the Jupiter at its peak, Jupiter at its most intense state, that is Maheshwarya. So normally the Jupiter is having a magnetic effect. So the magnetic effect, there is a range for this magnetic effect. That is a minimum and maximum. So there are times that he is at its minimum, there are times at its maximum. So through Maheshwara, through through Mahaiswarya, Jupiter is at its peak all the time. So through this magnetic effect, entering into the yogi, using this magnetic waves, yogi is able to control the brahma gnanis, and provides them the necessary wealth. So through Mahabhogaa, he has provided them the luxury. Through Mahaiswarya, he is providing brahmagnanis the necessary wealth. So wealth, Aishwarya is a wealth. Aishwarya is the wealth that is undiminishing wealth. So through Maheshwari, the 7 chakras have come to a standstill, and through that standstill state, the frozen state of the Kundalini chakras, initially through Maheshwari, the Jupiter has entered into Agna Chakram, and through Mahadevi, the moon has entered into Sahasra of the yogi, and Maharupa, the sun has entered in Muladhara, and Mahamaya, the Mars has entered into Visuddhi, Mahabhoga, the Jupiter, the Mercury or Buddha has entered in Swadhisthana with his Mercury effects. So through Mahaiswarya, the yogi is able to distribute the wealth of all these planets, that is Jupiter, then the moon, the sun, the Mars, and the Mercury. Wealth of these planets he is able to distribute to the brahmagnanis. So as part of this wealth, the Mahabhoga was executed, that is the wealth of the Buddha. So that is how this Mahaiswarya is being executed. And even the Jyoti, so these are the 5 graha, 5 planets that wealth distributed through Mahaiswarya. So even the astrology, it says that if 5 planets are in favor, then the life goes on smoothly. So that's what is happening here, Mahaiswarya. So those who gotten this Mahaiswarya effect, they possess the magnetic personality. They can attract through these magnetic waves, and they have the ability to distribute this wealth, that is undiminishing wealth of these 5 planets. So that's about Mahaiswarya. The next nama is Mahaveeeya. So Veerya is essentially the potency that is in Uttarayana Dakshinayana. So Mahaveeeya is a potency that is beyond east-west and in the Graha Yoga. So essentially Mahaveeeya refers to the potency encompassing the entire universe. And the entity responsible for this potency is the Chakra or Venus. So therefore through Mahaveeeya, the Venus has entered into yogi. Along with the Venus, the Saptamatruka, the 7 divine mothers the Varaahi, and Saptarushis, the seven saints, sacred saints, the Atri has entered into Anaahat of the yogi. So through Mahaiswarya, the saturated form of the peak of Jupiter was exhibited. Through Mahadevi, the saturated form of the lunar, the moon, Maharupa, the saturated form of the sun, Mahamaya, saturated form of the Mars, Mahabhoga, saturated form of the mercury. So through Mahaveeeya, so he's distributed all these saturated effects to his subordinates, that is 7 crore brahma gnanis. So what is the next step that needs to be done? So those who are saturated in luxuries through Mahabhoga, those who are saturated in the wealth through Mahaiswarya, are the imbalances in the wealth distribution, the imbalances in the luxury, the imbalances in the illusion effects, all these been corrected through these various namas or various energies of these namas. So what is the next step? So once these brahmagnanis, once they get saturated, it is possible that they will be elevated or they may depart. That is under control of the yogi. So and we have discussed that in Sarva Mantra we have discussed that there are 7 crore brahmagnanis. That number is fixed. So it is necessary to strengthen the community of these brahmagnanis, or necessary to have the bench strength readily available to replace if there any vacancy in this brahmagnani community. For that, it is necessary to necessary to invite an evolved soul into this community. So therefore, the potency is required. This is not a normal potency, that is Uttarayana, Dakshinayana or North South. This potency that is required, that is beyond the North South East West cycle, that is coming from the Graha Yoga. So that is what is Mahaveeeya. So these brahmagnanis have to participate in Kama Sutra beyond North, South, East, West in the Graha Yoga, so that they can invite an evolved soul into their community. And for that, the potency level required is Mahaveeeya. So through Mahaveeeya, the yogi is transferring the potency to the brahmagnanis, for facilitating evolved soul to assume the body, so that the strength of this brahmagnani remains constant. So that is what is Mahaveeeya. Now in Ramayana, Valmiki Ramayana, Valmiki poses a question to Narada, asking, is there anybody who is existing in this universe with the 16 gunas, 16 characteristics, and is described the 16 characteristics, and as a response to the question posed by Valmiki, Narada describes Rama with four times the four times the qualities that are proposed by Valmiki, that is 4 into 16. 16 is the Shodasha Guna. 4 into 16 is 64, that is Chatushashti Guna. Now, so the 64, one of the 64 gunas that Narada describes, one of them is Mahaveeeya. So that means Rama, the super soul descended onto this earth and assumed a body, human body, lived like a human and possessed this Mahaveeeya energy, that is the potency beyond the north, south, east, west, that is encompassing the planets. So he has the potency and of Mahaveeeya. So this it is an example, it's an indication for all of us that all of us have the capability to draw this Mahaveeeya energy. That means potency beyond the north, south, east, west. So that explains why somebody gives birth to super babies and somebody are not giving birth to super babies. So the reason is that somebody who is having Mahaveeeya, the potency beyond the normal cycle, they can invite evolved souls to assume the body. That's why it's a super baby. So Mahaveeeya is still alive in all of us. It's only up to us to tap that energy. So the next nama is Mahaveeeya, Mahabala. Mahabala. So Bala is an external exhibition of the strength. That is in Uttarayana and Dakshinayana, and north south. Mahabala is a strength, exhibition of the strength that is beyond north, south, east, west, that is emanating from the graha, the graha yoga, the planets. So through Mahabala, so of the 7 planets, Saturn or the Shanishwara is the heaviest and the most sluggish. He is driven by inertia. He moves most. He is the slowest of all the planets. He is the most sluggish planet, and hence, since his mass is heavy, so even if he is performing a small action, the strength that is being dissipated, that is being dispensed in the karmacharana, is enormous, and that is why it's Mahabala. So through Mahabala, Saturn has entered into yogi. Along with the Saturn, the Saptamatrika, the 7 divine mothers, Indraani, and 7 saints, sacred saints, Bharadwaja has entered into the manipooraka of the yogi. So the Kundalini chakras that have been repaired through Mahaiswarya, so one by one all the Kundalini chakras have been repaired, and the energy forms of the 7 planets, 7 divine mothers, and the 7 saints have entered into the body of the yogi who is in yoga samadhi. So the reason for that is, so through this energy he can control the 7 crore brahma gnanis who are supposed to further control the remaining population. So that is the hierarchy of the ambassadorship of the Universal Mother. So here the bala is the external execution of the power. Shakti is the internal matter, which is in the energy form, which is in a lightest form. And when this power, inner power exhibited through external action, it becomes bala, or the strength. So through Mahaveeya, the next generation was nurtured next generation of the Brahmagnanis were nurtured. And so what happens if the family has been progressing, if there's a new entry in the family, or the newborn baby in the family, what is the next step? So we have to provide nourishment. So for that we have to work hard. That is Mahabala. So through Mahabala, there's a hard work that has been performed to nurture the new generation that have entered into the Brahmagnani community. And these Brahmagnanis have participated in Kama Sutra beyond north-south, that is east-west and beyond east-west. And through this act of this Kama Sutra, the Vaishnavi, Brahmi, Varaahi, Narasimhi, Maheshwari, and Chamunda, the five Saptamatrikas, the seven divine mothers in the body, they have distributed their energy, or they have participated in this act. And through these various feminine energies, the Kameshwara energy has entered and resulted in Mahaveeya, and hence the childbearing has taken place. And subsequent to that, through Mahabala, the Saturn effect has entered, which can a small action results in a large strength. That is the characteristic of Saturn in manipooraka Chakra. So through Mahabala, it is a saturation of Saturn effect in the yogi, and which is being used to transfer, which is used to transfer to the 7 crore Brahmagnanis. So in so through Mahabala, the yogi who is in Graha Yogam, the 7 Kundalini chakras are filled. So, and the 7 the Saptamatrikas are filled, and 7 Saptarushis are also being filled in the body of yogi. So let us have a quick look at this 7 filled entities. In Mooladhara, the sun is there. Along with sun, the Vaishnavi, the Saptamatrikas energy. Then the Kashyapa, Swadhisthana, Mercury, Brahmi, and Vashishtha. In Manipooraka, Saturn, Indraani, and Bharadwaja. In Anaahat, Venus, Varaahi, and Atri. In Visuddhi, Narasimhi, Mars, Narasimhi, Jamadagni, as well as Vishwamitra has entered. In Agna Chakra, Jupiter, Mahaiswarya, and Gautama has entered. In Sahasrara, Moon, Chamunda, and Agastya has entered. So these entities, through these entities, then Saptaswaras are also entered into the body of yogi, that is Sa, Ri, Ga, Ma, Pa, Da, Ni. these are sari gama. There are 7 notes, and all the harmonics, all the various subsets of the 7. All these are energies, and the forces have entered into the yogi. Now here in the Visuddhi Chakra, it was mentioned Jamadagni as well as Vishwamitra, whereas in other chakras only one Saptarushi has entered. What is the reason for that? Jamadagni, the mirror effect of Jamadagni is Vishwamitra. So Jamadagni was he got saturated through Mahabala, so his soul has departed. He left the body because he was being killed by Kartavirya Arjuna, and so his place was substituted subsequently by Vishwamitra in Visuddhi Chakra. So in Ramayana, the subsets of this Mahabala were described. Vishwamitra got astras known as Bala and Atibala. So these are subsets of Mahabala. And therefore, Jamadagni, when he got saturated with Mahabala, Vishwamitra, with his Bala and Atibala attributes, have taken his place in Visuddhi Chakra. Okay, so these 7 Kundalini chakras of the yogi, what are the various attributes that are present? Let us see. So the root of the brightness or the radiance, that is sun god, is present in Muladhara, and the frozen form of the ice, the frozen form of the water in Sahasrara through the moon, and in between these two, that is, one end is the hot, other end is the cold. So next to the hot, that is sun, is the mercury, that is in Swadhisthana, which can respond very fast. As the slightest disturbance, it expands. The mercury expands. So hence it is it's like a child playing. So it's the fastest responding. So the moment the warmth of the sun reaches mercury expands in Swadhisthana, and hence is the reason for the bhogam or luxury. And beyond this, mercury is the sluggish movement of the Saturn in manipooraka. That is the controlling of, if there is a over expansion of mercury effect, the Saturn controls in manipooraka. And beyond this manipooraka, the Saturn in manipooraka, in Anaahat, the Venus was present, who is responsible for the virya, the potency, the childbearing act. So the Anaahat is the midpoint. So we have seen it from the Muladhara to Anaahat, what happens. So let us see from the other side, that is through Sahasrara. The moon affects the moon rays in Sahasrara, as well as the sun rays in Muladhara, are being controlled by the magnetic effect of the Bruhaspati in Agna Chakra. So this Bruhat, the Jupiter in Agna Chakra the magnetic waves of the Jupiter carries the moon rays, and they have been subjected to the fire element of the Mars. Mars is known as orange planet. There's a fire element in the Mars. So that's why those who are succumbed to Maya or illusion, there's a bomb blast effect. Okay, bomb blast effects are because of this, the Mars effect. So the moon rays carried forward to Visuddhi Chakra through magnetic waves of the Jupiter, and they get expanded through the fire aspect of Mars, and they reach Anahata, they reach the Venus in Anahata. So in either direction, Anahata plays an important role, that is the expansion from one side and the contraction on the other side. So this been controlled through the Jupiter in Agna Chakra. So Anahata, so hence the potency that is being generated is the expansion contraction effects in the body. So that is being cleared through this illustration. So this entire process is being controlled by magnetic waves of the Jupiter, that is saturated Jupiter effect in Agna Chakra. So through this the 7 chakras are being fulfilled in the yogi. The completed 7 saptamatrikas are entities or energies have completely filled. Similarly, the 7 planet effects, 7 Saptarushi effects have been filled into the yogi. So this completes this sloka, Mahabhogaa, Mahaiswarya, Mahaveeeya, Mahabala. So what does it mean? Through Mahabhogaa, the mercury effects entering into the personality, faculty of personality, and the saturated state of the peak of Jupiter through Mahaiswarya entering the intellect, faculty of intellect, and saturated the potency of Venus entering into the faculty of discretion, and saturated strength of Saturn into the faculty of mind. So that is the training to various faculties through this sloka, that is Mahabhogaa, Mahaiswarya, Mahaveeeya, Mahabala. So that completes this sloka. So we will explore the next namas in the subsequent episode. Thank you.